Hey, I see they pulled up the hypergamy chart. So here's the thing. See on the left, it says whom men would happily partner with right there. And like men generally 10s would be with 10s or 9s or whatever. And the men at the bottom would be with women, up a little bit higher. But generally what women would happily partner with. And this is what I found to be the case is like you see these women even at the bottom, what's happened is with Instagram is that they've gotten to a point where because they're getting so much validation from these men on IG and remember
social media in general.
Hey, let's go back to rule number 4. Social media is fake. They're sitting there using
Hey, by the way, I'm going to put that in the studio somewhere. I'm going to have a sticker that says rule number 4.
Social media is fake.
Yes.
So because of that, now what a girl is getting is I know some girls that are not very attractive and they get millions of followers on IG. And because they've got photos, you guys seen Coconut Kitty 143. She's actually really pretty, but you've never seen a picture of her because she makes herself look like a 12-year-old on a. You know what I'm talking about? Look her up. Yeah, look her up if you have a chance.
I've heard of the trend. Though.
You got that, Matt? That
so it's Coconut Kitty 143. So she's actually over. I believe she's over 35, over 40, and she looks like a 12-year-old. It's fake. So she's getting the attention or stimulus, and in this case, even money on OF of a girl who is much more younger and more attractive than her. So what happens, you see at that scale, now but let's say, I'm not saying Coconut Kitty's a 1 or a 2, but let's just say a girl who's a 1 or 2, now because she has these fake pictures, she wants a 7, 8, or a 9. And so now these men who are 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, they get no one. And how could we express that mathematically? So there's a GSS survey that came out, it was from 2008 to 2018. And it showed the number of men having 0 sexual partners in the last year and the number of women having 0 sexual partners in the last year. And they graph it by year. You could probably find that survey. It's a GSS survey, and if you just Google number of men having 0 sexual partners in the last year, it's the first thing that comes up. There'll be a pink line and a blue line. How many men? What percentage of men do you think have had 0 sexual partners in the last year?
What percentage?
Actually, what percentage of women do you think?
Well, I mean. I don't want to be deemed, but maybe like unattractive women.
No, unattractive women have no trouble finding men.
Yeah,
none whatsoever.
I think genuinely women don't have a problem finding.
Good, you understand? That's correct.
Men,
That'd be 0.
we can get sex.
Yeah, but some women just don't want to have sex. So what percentage do you think would have 0 sexual partners?
I don't know.
5.
5%.
That's what I would think.
20%. So it's about 12%.
Okay.
What percentage of men do you think have had 0 sexual partners in the last year?
95.
Did you find the graph? Can you want to pull it up? Yeah, 95. That's pretty funny. Let me see. There it is. 28% of men in 2018, which means we're probably at around 33% of men. Do you see how that spike just goes flying up? What do you think happened in 2008? You see where the spike starts in 2008? What happened in 2008? That was just
Did Viagra come out?
That changed the planet.
MySpace.
No, MySpace would have been 2005.
Was it Seeking Arrangements?
No,
Instagram.
This is the whole. This is the whole U.S. This is the whole U.S. population.
The spike.
What else happened? What happened in 2008?
2008.
I'll give you a hint.
Cell phone.
What cell phones?
Instagram.
Smartphone.
Hold on. What happened specifically in 2008? Does anybody remember? No. It is the Facebook app on the iPhone.
Ooh.
This is what happened in 2008. And from now on, our level of communication and how we confer and imbue status became social media.
True.
And if you go to 2012, you see, look at that. It just shoots up. And now the guys who can show their level of status, they do better. And the guys who can't do worse. Now, obviously, there's more women who aren't having as many sexual partners as well, right? But the number of men, like we're going to get to a third of men have had 0 sexual partners in the last year, which means we're probably in the mid 40s of men who've had 1 sexual partner in the last year, right? So here's where it gets really crazy. So we've got the first third. This is an entire graph right here. The first third we say have 0 sexual partners, and then we know the average North American male has had like 7 sexual partners in his whole life. 7. So that's around the mean. But let's just say for sake of argument, let's say that's the 60th percentile. First 33 percentile are at 0. And then we go from the 33 to the 60th percentile. That's 27 percentiles. We go from there to 7. So we're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, the guys in the top 10% that you guys know, how many sexual partners have they had?
In the top 10%?
Remember, at 60th percentile, we were at 7 partners. The guys
It's
that
gotta
you
be
know
a
in
big
the
jump
top
right there.
in the top 10%. Just think of the biggest, best looking male whores you've ever met.
Heck, like off the
Like
off
throw
the
in a
charts.
number.
300.
That's a lot.
I
Yes,
mean,
I mean,
no,
that's a lot.
it's not a lot.
He said that's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's so many. That's so many. That's so many fucking gross dudes. I can't believe that shit. Yes, 300, 400, 500,
Right.
1,000.
They're
so,
whores.
So remember, we get to the 60th percentile, we're at 7. We get to the 80th percentile, we're at 200. We get to the 90th percentile, we're at like 1,000. Do you see? So male number of sexual partners go like this, and it goes whoop, like that. So that's what hypergamy did. Do you see that? You remember that scale where it showed all the women just wanted
They
these
just want
guys,
those guys,
just
yeah.
wanted these guys at the top, and that's what happens. So now here's the thing: the people who complain about this, those guys are called MGTOW or incel. The people who don't complain about this are called millionaires. These are guys who go to the gym. These are guys who are become very successful with life. These are the guys who start an awesome podcast. These are the guys who become performers and whatever. These are guys who become very charismatic. These are guys who have a really good game. That's the guys who make it in that top 20%. Does that make sense? We can fight female nature, or we can accept it and then say, "Oh, I want to be part of this top 10%." Everyone who ever watched this episode can be in the top 10%. I know a lot of guys don't think so, but they definitely can. So that's the thing. Now, one thing that would set you way back is not having social media. And I promise you, of that 33% of men that have had 0 sexual partners, I'm probably 98% of them don't have an Instagram.
Like Tom.
Yeah.
Tom, who just
Probably.
jumped off fucking social media.
Probably 98%. Now, listen, if you don't have social media because you found the woman of your dreams and you got a bunch of kids and you have a job at a top secret laboratory, that's fine. That you don't need to listen to anything I'm saying. Or if you're a billionaire, or if you won an Academy Award, or if you won an NBA championship, you don't need social media. The rest of us are just dudes, and we got to work for the rest of our lives. We got to bust our ass in order
But
to.
isn't that why, the percentage of guys who haven't had a sexual partner, isn't that why OnlyFans or platforms like it have kind of
Of course, yeah, of course. You are.
Right.
Hey, do you subscribe to any girls on OnlyFans?
Yeah, so I have to because they'll come on my show. Like a lot of times they'll come on. Like I need to understand the platform to some extent. I will tell you this one time. No, it's actually one time this happened. There was a girl who I was seeing, and she had posed the thing of us being in a relationship together. And she went to film a JOI video with this other girl that I used to see. And this girl that she's filming with fucking hates me because I picked the first girl over the second girl. So they're at Cosmo, and they're like gonna film.
And for these guys who don't know, that's jerk off
Yeah.
instructions.
So they're gonna film a JOI together. And they by the way, they did film the JOI. Anyway, I told her, I was like, listen, the girl you're filming with, I don't care. She's got 1 million followers. Film with her. It's fine, whatever. And I used to go out with her. But she hates me. And I'm telling you, while you're doing the JOI video, her boyfriend is just going to show up and she's going to try to convince you to do GGB. I promise you that's going to
What
happen.
is GGB?
Girl, boy.
Okay, girl.
Okay. I promise you that's going to happen. Just as long as you understand. And I was just trying to be cool about it. And she goes, that's never going to happen. I was like, babe, that is what's going to happen. Just want to be prepared for it. A couple hours later go by, the dude shows up exactly like I said. He's got party favors. And I'm a little frustrated. I'm like, okay, honey, listen, I told you this was going to happen. I need you to, why don't you just come home? She's like, all right, I'm going to come home. A couple hours go by. And I'm like, I can't account for these hours. And she finally leaves, and she's like on the phone crying with me. And she goes, I'm like, why are you sad? Like, come over. She goes, I'm not coming over because you were right. And the only reason this girl filmed with me in the first place is because she fucking hates you. And she wanted to embarrass you by me and by her and her man having sex with me and then filming it. And I was like, okay, cool. And I will tell you guys that I went and checked all 3 of their fucking OFs to see, because there's no way they were going to do it and not film it. There was no way. And she told the truth. It didn't happen.
Okay.
But that's the only time where I was like, okay, I have to know, because I was going to invest a lot in this girl. So that was the only time where I did that, where I had to know. So and then the other thing is I've dated a lot of girls, and they'll show me the platform from the creator side. So I've definitely seen that. And I always bring up these, like, I'll write one for you. Eggplant, squirt emoji, come do this on my body, babe, blah, blah, blah. The guys who have to write those captions, the guys who have to write those captions, it's unbelievable. Also, I have a friend of mine who owns Unruly, Unruly, it's a modeling agency in LA. So I saw some of the stuff that they were doing. But yeah, that was the only time I was like, I'm about to invest a lot in this girl and blah, blah, blah. And, there were some other red flags. It didn't work out. But that was the only time where I did it, where I was like, okay, I got to know. I got to know if she did this, and she didn't. So that was cool. But other than that, man, I will say, here's the thing. I don't have a problem if we have a big discussion in this community about whether or not it's, you know, the moralistic nature of men paying for sex. And for sex, now I'm not even talking about OnlyFans. Guys who'd make the quarterly trip to Panama and have sex with a bunch of prostitutes, or Medellin, or Berlin, or, you know, Florianopolis, or something like that. And I don't have a problem with it at all, because these guys go through really, you know, rough patches, and they're running companies that are, you know, 50 million. I do have one issue. I'm very much against human trafficking. As long as everybody is open and free and doing these things of their own volition, I'm fine with it. Those fucking, you know, Russian girls.
Yeah, how do you feel about this? So this is something that's weird, and I told people just from traveling the world, I understand why people get escorts.
Yeah.
It's the same reason they go to strip club. It's a form of entertainment. But what I say is I can't do it. You know, I've never done it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going in there with the mindset of I'm paying this girl. What if she really doesn't want to be with me?
Yeah.
So to
my
me,
God.
it's like
Exactly.
It's like it won't happen because I'm
It's
in my
forced.
own-
I can't imagine
forced.
having sex with somebody who didn't want to have sex with me. Like that.
That's what it is.
Bilzerian
So,
talks about that
yeah.
in his book. He's like, I wish I was more attracted to prostitutes, but it's like, I can't. They don't want to be with me, so I'm not attracted to them. I'm only attracted to girls who really, really, really like me, and I'm like that too. Like, if I have a choice between two girls, and I can see one of them is just really, really likes me, I will give her points because and if she likes women, I'll give her points. If she really,
Hey,
really
so
likes
when
me.
you say that, so when you pull in, so if you're with a girl and it's you're cool with her bringing a girl or another girl coming in, are you all right if the girl brings a guy in?
No, I don't want any other like you know, do that with some other couple on your own time. I really not. No,
But is that fair to the girl or to the, I mean,
it's not about this thing. We talked about this in the bathroom, right? Just a couple minutes ago.
Whoa.
Wait, hold on.
About
We
the double
weren't in
standard.
the bathroom.
There is a double standard. There is if her and I were in an open relationship, her options to have sexual intercourse are 100x mine. Doesn't matter, unless I am Justin Timberlake and she's morbidly overweight, then we're maybe tied. We're maybe tied. I just like I told you about this couple. There was this couple in Jamaica. I just got back from Jamaica like 3 weeks ago, and there was this couple there, and they were both super good looking, and they were like cucking each other, like on purpose to try to make each other jealous. The girl was like making out with dudes. She was actually having sex with another dude, and like we were watching the whole thing, and I was like telling the guy, he was very upset, and I was like, yes, the reason why you're upset is because when she fucks other dudes, it is not the same as you fucking other girls. If you think it's a double standard, you're right. It is a double standard. Men and women are not the same.
can you imagine being that guy sitting there and you got Michael here? He comes in, like, gives him the bird.
I'm like, dude, like just so you
know.
No, I'm like,
Girls getting
Yeah,
fucked.
that's-
he's trying to get a make out with one girl,
That's
and she
bold.
has 7 dudes ready with their dicks out, like ready for her. It's 100 to 1 what her options are as opposed to what his options are. That's why I'm saying, like, open relationship, there's always a dichotomy where it doesn't really work out. When I see open relationships, it's such a disadvantage for the man. That's the reason why I have kind of an issue with it. And the other thing is, you know, if the dude's bisexual, whatever, I don't know much about that, but like that, I guess maybe in that case it would work. But for me, I just don't want dudes.
He would just raise his hand.
I just don't want dudes involved. I'd have no problem with it. It's if other people want to do it, it's fine.
Hey, what was
I
the
think-
quote?
I think
what was
dudes
the
are.
Hughes quote?
A butt is a butt.
is a butt.
A butt is a butt is a butt.
Yeah.
How do you feel about these polyamory relationships?
Well, that's what we're talking about here.
Hey, so
Right,
yeah,
right,
going back to what
right.
we were talking about in the bathroom. So what I told them, so whether it's OnlyFans girl, a porn girl, whatever, I said if you go into the relationship and they're like, this is what I do, and you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Because they're telling you and it's honest and
Yeah, but it's not. I just wouldn't have that relationship because of what I said to you, right? So like, if I'm dating a girl and I run a business where men are supposed to, like, I'm teaching them how to network and how to have status, but I'm dating a girl who's openly cucking me with other male porn stars. I'm going to lose status. It doesn't make. I know the world is unfair, and I'm sorry that it's like this, ladies. If you're listening to this, but this
Have to accept it.
you have to accept it. This is the world we live in. I do not have the same standards by which you have. It's like one guy getting dunked on. The guy getting dunked on does not have as high status as the guy dunking the basketball. That is how the world works. And when some guy steals your girl and he's fucking her on camera, and the girl comes back home to you, it's like, baby, but it's okay. I didn't even enjoy it. He enjoyed it. The guy fucking you enjoyed it, right? Do you understand? And that's
well, the
And
term.
that thought
No, listen. The
lingers.
Yes.
the term in Vegas, and I mean even waitresses do this. Clients, but
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so these are your clients, but even though I'm not in that business,
I'm
I
just
mean,
I'm just
can I say
imagining
a
if
girl's a
Vegas Dave
client?
were sitting right here.
Vegas Dave?
He'd be like, no, it's escorting, and that's fine. Like, if you want to do that, it's just I just don't know how else to explain this. you can do whatever you want. You're just not my girlfriend. That's it. Like, do whatever you want. Like, I do not sit there and do background checks on every girl I go on a date with. If they want to sleep with me and then they want to sleep with someone else, that's fine. You're just not my girlfriend. If you want to be my girlfriend, there are certain parameters that we have to meet. And like, I want to turn my business into an 8-figure business. That if you are not helping me do that, I don't think we should be in a relationship together. We can still go on dates. I'll take you to Disneyland. You can come to Babes in Toyland. We'll go skydiving. We'll go ATV tours. We'll have a great time and we'll have threesomes with all your friends. But you are not my girlfriend. You're not my girlfriend. That's the only thing. You're just not my girlfriend. If you want to be my girlfriend, there are just certain standards.
But why do you think the girl then, on the opposite, I feel like those girls are the most jealous when it comes back to the guy?
Because they know in their mind, like, bro, here's the thing. Because I know you're so close to this, so I don't know. I'm not saying this is your situation, but this tends to be a situation. She is probably enjoying some of the stuff she does with her clients, and she's telling you she doesn't. And she probably knows that if you did that with other girls, you would enjoy it also, and that makes her insecure. What do you notice when guys cheat? What do they do when the girl has their phone? Do they act super secure? What do they do? When guys are cheating on their girl, how do they act? Do they act super secure, or how do they act?
Oh, they act weird around their phone.
Hold on, they act weird around their phone. But how do they act around your phone?
Yeah, they try to.
They think the same thing's happening on that end.
Once they find a little
Listen, all burglars lock their doors. Because they think everyone else, okay?
That's a really good.
The reason why he acts insecure is because he's cheating, and now he wants to go through your phone because he's now projecting his duplicitous nature onto you. I think that may be why a girl who's going out to see her clients doesn't want you to talk to other girls. There's absolutely no way I would be in a relationship like that. That's not. She just doesn't need to know. But like, babe, listen, I don't need to know what you're doing with your clients. You don't need to know what I'm doing with other girls. And you're not my girlfriend. You're just not my girlfriend. When
you could still be in a relationship because you like each other, but that has to be a ground.
But you're like friends who have sex with each other. That's fine. That's okay. But like the thing is, there's just like a level.
Friends that have sex with each other.
I think, but just the problem is,
even waitresses. I mean, even waitresses.
Yeah, they have clients.
Even hosts.
Yeah, but are they putting their clients' penises in their mouth? That is a big difference. Like, I know some girls, like, I'm going out with clients and they go bowling and the guy just gives them a fuck ton of money. That does happen. But it's like, as soon as we're getting into like, I just don't need other penises to go inside of you, that doesn't make me weird. In Vegas, it makes me fucking weird, for sure. I am 3 standard deviations out of the normal because that's what I want. In other cities, though, like if I'm back in Dallas and the guy's like, hey, I want to be in a relationship with you, don't fuck any other dudes. That's not weird. That's generally how it works. Right. Here, you're like, well, I'm not fucking any other dudes except my client who spends $100K at the table. So just so you understand, I might have to fuck him. And by the way, girls never say that out loud, but
that's what they mean, though. That's exactly what they mean. Yeah.
I'm just like, I have the right to know, and I have the right to say, like, I have the right to have a standard on what I want as my girlfriend.
But would it make you feel better if they're saying, well, at least I'm telling you?
It would make me feel better. They're still not my girlfriend, though. It would make me feel better if the robber came in. Hey, man, I'm about to rob your house.
At least you knew. Like,
I'm not going to hurt you.
I'll tie myself up. Okay, cool, man. No, yeah, just don't break anything, whatever. That's fine. They make me feel better, but you're still my girl. Like, I would like to, not to be arrogant, but I like to believe the position of Michael Sartain's girlfriend is a high position that you get a ton of benefits. You get to travel the fucking world. You get to shoot with the best photographers in the world, eat in incredible places, meet my family, and I teach you how to make money, and we have an unbelievable time and laugh our ass off and have a beautiful time and have sex all the time. That's what you get.
How many girlfriends have you had out here in Vegas?
They're not,
like real girl. I will say they're real.
I've had 3. I've had 3 since I moved out here. Yeah.
Okay.
I've had 3. And it didn't really, like, the only one that really worked was the girl who was it wasn't that she was into women, it's that she was aggressively into women. That one worked for a while because it was one of these things where, one of the things I loved is when she would look at me and she'd be like, who we taking home tonight?
Oh.
Don't be a bitch. Who we taking home tonight?
I wish that would I wish that would happen to me once in my life.
Oh, bro. She was like, so wait, because she would challenge me, like, because I knew every girl, and she would be like, oh my God, I think that girl's so hot. And I'd be like, baby, you think she's hot? Like, do you really think she's hot? Because I'll call her right now. She'd be like, she'll roll her eyes at me, and I'd be like, hey Siri, call so-and-so. And then we'd have her on the phone, like, why don't you come over later? And like after the 4th time that happened, she would be like, okay, I understand he's not bluffing, right? And so that was one of these situations where she started challenging me to be like, could we bring this girl home? And I was like, just whoever you want, let's give it a shot. And I enjoyed that. That was fun. and also helping her build her business, and she supported my business. She actually came on my calls for the MOA, and I love that. That would be kind of like my equilibrium.
Like a woman who isn't threatened by, if you're doing
It's not threatened.
Yeah.
If we didn't have sex with other women, she would have left me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like that level of like, she was married to a woman.
I remember you said something about so in doing the type of job you do, girls getting jealous, like because other girls hit on you.
Yes.
It's like, why would you be jealous?
Oh, bro,
if
it's
somebody's
crazy.
hitting
It's
on
crazy.
you?
So my birthday, I was
can't control
at
somebody
my
hitting
birthday.
on
I
you.
was a pincushion, bro. Like my birthday, because there were 40 girls there, and they were just like, "Oh, let's touch Michael wherever we want." Like it's like there was no. Again, I will say this.
I
I
saw
don't care.
you get motorboated.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. I will say this as a man. Like, when I have clients come on and they complain to me that their female friends want to sleep with them, I'm like, why are you complaining to me? Like, I don't, like, what are you talking about? This is not a problem. Most dudes can't get a girl to like them, and you have your female friends wanting to sleep with you. I'll give you some advice, but this is ridiculous. This is not something you need to talk about. And as a woman, you should never be groped. If a dude puts his hands on you and you don't want him to, your man should knock him the fuck out. Okay, that's what should happen, or something should happen. As a man, if I get groped, if a woman comes up to me, just blatantly just grabs my dick in a club, I have no right to do anything. I'm sorry. I know it may sound like a double standard, but I am a 235-pound man. If a woman comes and grabs my dick, I'm gonna be like, okay, thank you, I appreciate that, but I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna report her to the fucking security. If women grope me as a man, I should be just not that big of a deal. I should be just okay with it. I know you guys have heard me talk on here. There's a lot of double standards I believe in. This is offensive to a lot of people because they want to believe men and women are the same. We're not the same. We're not the same. We're not the same at all. You need comfort to have sex. Men don't need comfort to have sex. Period.
Men are dying to be groped.
Yeah, well, for sure. But like, it would be nice if they were attractive women.
Yeah.
That's the.
It would be nice if they were attractive women. I tell. What was it? I was saying. So I have one of my clients. I have a few openly gay clients, right? And they'll come and we'll have a conversation about it, and they'll tell me these stories, and it's just like so mind-boggling to me. They'll talk to a guy who they're really attracted to, and the guy's annoyed that they're talking to them, and they still have sex. And I'm just like, God damn, could you imagine as a guy?
That's awesome.
Could you imagine if that's what your life was like? Could you imagine like going out in the Castro, but it's like a bunch of fucking beautiful women. And like, just imagine you walk up to like the hottest woman you've ever seen in your life, and she's like, oh God, what do you want? Fuck yeah, whatever. And then she still goes down on you. Like what? What?
Hey, it's the grinder
Oh,
too.
dude, I'm like, dude, what a fucking
They're like-
existence.
They're like,
So-
hold on, there's a dick 2
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, that grinder
okay.
shit is for real, bro. This is another thing. So one of the great things is it's in the book, or it's in the Evolution of Desire. They go over again sexual partners for men and women, and when they survey men in the Castro, several of the men said they had 300 sexual partners in a year. Most guys are not going to have 300 sexual partners in their life, and most homosexual men do not have 300 sexual partners. But these men in the Castro, when they could have as much sex as they want with as many partners as they want, and nobody stopped them, they got to 300. And then you wonder why Hugh Hefner and Bilzerian act the way they do, or why you see Adam Levine just constantly messaging.
Yeah.
Do you understand there is no limit? Do you understand that? Like, I as a woman, do you understand? Like, if a dude fucks 7 hot girls, there's like, he doesn't go, well, that's enough. There's just like, let's go to. Do you understand that?
tapped out now.
I had to understand that.
Good.
Yes.
I mean, did you understand? Because like, oh my God, Adam Levine. You notice how no dudes are tripping over this Adam Levine shit at all?
What did he do?
Exactly. That's exactly my point.
I
No.
showed
What happened?
I showed you. So this girl came out that he messaged her that he wants to name his new child that was going to be born
After her, but with
after
another
his
baby.
side chick.
But with the
Yeah.
wife, or is it? Are they
It
married?
doesn't matter. Like compared to like he is a man who is famous and rich and puts his penis in other women that are not his wife. That's what the whole thing was.
Yeah.
And then those other girls hopped on the wagon
Yeah,
when
and started-
really they
and
didn't really need to.
They all started snitching on him. Same thing happened with
Yeah.
Tiger Woods. Again, like as men, did we look at the Tiger Woods thing and man, I wonder if he's ever going to be able to hit that golf ball? No, we didn't care at all.
Yeah, like how
We
did
didn't care
how
because-
did the fact that he was fucking doing what he was doing, like that's fucking great. You deserve whatever.
Yeah, but he still lied. He lied to Elin. That's the problem.
Yeah,
he
but
lied to Elin.
it fucked up his golf game. How did it fuck up his golf game?
But just to be that good at golf, I'm not as good at golf as I'm not as good as golf as Tiger Woods. I'm not as good as anything.
Dude, I
in the world
remember
as Tiger
hearing
Woods.
that when he would be here because I knew girl hosts and other people that were. He would rent out entire floors
Yeah.
at the MGM and was having
at the
girls
at the
come-
mansion.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
girls,
mansions.
The hoes come.
Yeah,
through.
by the way, well, I'm not going to say it. I told a very famous person, I won't say his name, to go to the mansion specifically for that reason. Because Tiger Woods is there.
I actually know a couple
yeah.
of bookers.
So here's the thing. Why would he do that? You notice how we didn't give a shit about Derek Jeter, fucking Jessica Biel and Jessica Alba and Mariah Carey. No one there was not a peep.
I didn't even know
Oh
that.
fuck! I didn't even know that.
We didn't even care. We didn't even care. But when OJ,
Man.
when Tiger has sex with Denny's waitresses, we trip over it. And really, most men weren't tripping because we kind of knew Tiger was sleeping around with other people. No, because we're men. It's so funny. Like as men, we just kind of knew. When I'm in a room with a bunch of men and I'm like, hey, a really high status man likes to have sex with other women. The women might look around at each other. I'm sure you don't look around, but like some other women who are like new to the game, they're like, oh no, my vagina's made of gold and I cook for him. He would never cheat on me. That's what they think. And you see how they're laughing because you guys are laughing because you know what I'm saying is true. That we talk about this in MOA. Some of the girls in there, we talk about the golden vagina myth. The golden vagina myth is the girl who went to a good school, came from a good family, and she believes that women get cheated on because they're whores and I'm not a whore. I don't do those things that these whores do, and therefore my man would never cheat on me because we have sex all the time and because I clean and cook for him and my vagina's perfect and therefore I haven't been with a bunch of dudes and therefore he would never cheat on me. And then they get cheated on and then they're just like their minds melt. And then Beyonce gets cheated on. And then the fucking world explodes. Beyonce got cheated on.
Oh hell! no.
Beyonce got cheated on. How?
Actually, just recently the Nia Long thing.
Yeah, with Neil Long with Coach Udoku.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I mean, men are like, oh, and then women are even like, okay, well, fuck. If Nia Long gets fucking cheated on, then I'm fucked.
That's literally the statement every
Yeah,
time
but-
that happens. Like,
Hold on.
if Beyonce can get cheated on, I'm fucked.
But hold on. Didn't what's his face? Bill Gates. This motherfucker had $100 billion and his wife left him. So you can't have enough money, your wife will leave you, and you can't be a fine enough girl, your husband will cheat on you. And by the way, you'll notice in both cases, the husband didn't leave him. 78% of divorces are initiated by women.
Yeah.
Dudes will go have sex with other women and they don't want to leave their wife.
But you know why? Because alimony and,
Oh, because you're saying because all the things that women get.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And
There's-
I definitely think that
punishment?
It's funny hearing you
men-
say that because it's usually like men's rights activists that make that complaint. Yes.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of husbands and stuff that are they're in the strip clubs or they're on OnlyFans or whatever. Or they're coming and they're buying tables and they're paying girls to go hang out with them. So they want to have their fun. But I mean, the girl who fucking falls in love with him and think that she's gonna
Change him.
Yeah, he's
I want
gonna leave his
my
wife.
10 minutes with Drake,
You're-
and Drake's going to be the one. And by the way, don't you think that because you see Drake's girl and she's like, okay, like am I wrong? Like Drake's girl is like,
No.
yeah, she's okay, bro. Like, and so but you got that girl's set for life. So what do you think these other women are thinking?
Well,
Like,
a
of
lot
course,
of these high profile people, they got very average looking wives. I mean, I don't-
because they're cheating because they're still talking to other girls. That's the one that can keep that's the one that can keep the bookkeeping and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And keep
yeah. That's the one that's not going to be
it's not gonna
going
be out
around
in the
going to the
streets.
parties.
There's definitely a different type of caliber of woman that they're marrying to the ones that they're like fucking or having the side
Yes.
girlfriend.
why do you think everybody was so attracted to Selena Powell when they knew that she was exposed?
I didn't think I was attractive at all. I thought she was terrifying. I thought she has a very pretty face, but I think the fact that she was like that was a little bit was terrifying, and I still at the same time couldn't stop watching.
Yeah.
It was like
no,
literally
that-
watching a plane
that's what I'm
crash.
saying. I thought
Yeah.
I say this to my friends all the time. I sucked their dicks. I was mid. I was fucking the ones going guy, and 7 of them came out there and just I sucked their dick. Damn,
Yeah.
Selena. I've always wanted to go up to her because I'm going to Miami. I was going to meet her. It's a fresh
I mean, it was just crazy too because she was just so incriminating herself of like,
there might be a personality disorder in there.
Oh no,
Yeah.
beyond.
I thought it
personality
was an
disorder.
age thing at first because
No, it's not an age thing. And I'll tell you something else. Some high profile, whoever the fuck is going to wife her up. I guarantee you, because he's fucking Selena Powell. I guarantee you someone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But
Well,
like,
also there, that's a huge fetish too of the humiliation.
Okay, so let's
and-
talk about this. I think I've never seen a time in my life where people were more open about being cucked, for sure. I've never seen anything like it. I'm not
what does
interested.
that mean, cuck?
So you openly enjoy watching your girl with some other dude.
Okay.
Okay, this is a very common thing. Like, well, it's not common. It's actually not common. I bet you less than 5% of men are into this. The thing is, though, the men who are into it for the longest time were in the shadows, and now everyone's doing it. But also, women are encouraging men to be like this. Jen Rufo came on my podcast and said more men need to become comfortable with their wives being cucking them, fucking other men in front of them. And I was like, Jen, I'm just like trying to think about this from an evolutionary standpoint, and that doesn't make sense to me. I don't think I'd want to do that. And if it was a woman, if you and I were on our first date and I saw you with some other dude, I'd be like, fuck this, dude. Like there's no.
What was her reasoning for saying that?
Because she was doing that.
Oh, she just okay. So
Because
she
that's-
didn't have any scientific.
No.
Like she tried to back it up somehow.
Not only that, she gets angry at me whenever I bring up the science. Again, I am a caveman. I do not know the fecundity. I do not know my my partner's fecundity, like whether or not she's cheating. I do not know the genetic profile of the child. Like, you always know it's your baby. I don't know if it's my baby. The only way I know if it's my baby is if you are outside the presence. That's why the harems were guarded by, anybody remember? Like when you had kings back 1,500 years ago, the harems were always guarded by, anybody? Eunuchs. That's correct. Men with no penises. That's why it was what happened. So they knew the Mubarak, the bloodthirsty, I believe in Morocco, had 888 children or something. That's what the legend is. That's why, because you did not know whether or not you were going to raise someone else's genetics. And the point of your existence, your genetics, is to replicate. So how do you replicate? Well, first off, you look for signs of youth, symmetry. You look for signs in women that you find those things to be attractive, right? And we talked about that before. In 0.2 seconds, you see those things. So you know that. So as men, how can I replicate? Well, it costs me very little to replicate, so I'm going to have sex with as many women as possible. As a woman, you want to replicate. What's the way for you to do that? For you to get one man, or at least maybe one or two men, whatever, most of the time one man, to ally his resources to you. So he has sex with you, and now you have all the investment. You have 9 months of pregnancy. You got the first 3 years where the child can't even walk, or the first year and a half where the child can't even walk, up to like age 8, where finally at 8 years old, maybe children can do something. We're talking about 50,000 years ago. We're not talking about now.
Yeah.
And then so you're burdened, you're saddled with that forever. So of course you have to be more picky, because if you pick the wrong dude, you die. If you pick the wrong, if you are a Pleistocene female Homo sapien who lived 70,000 years ago, and you have sex with the wrong dude, and the baby comes out with blue eyes instead of green, you die. That's what happened. You and the child die. This is, a lot of people don't understand. Why do men have approach anxiety with women? Because you would live in a tribe with 150 people, and if you embarrassed yourself in front of the 3 women you may ever have sex with in your whole life, you are unapologetically weeded out of existence. And what do you have anxiety as a woman the first time you have sex with a dude? Because if you have sex with the wrong dude, then you fucking die. That's the reason why. And it was 300,000 years of that versus 15 years of Facebook. And that's the reason why men are like that. So let me ask you a question. How many of your friends, the first time they have sex with a guy, are drunk?
I mean,
What percentage? What percentage? You say like 85%?
95.5.
95%. I know some girls, they've never had sex with a guy the first time and not been drunk or been high or done coke. Like, women are aware of the fact, they might even like a guy, maybe fully aware of the fact that they're super attracted to him, and know that their bodies will not allow them to have sex with this guy because they feel uncomfortable, and will deliberately get drunk so they'll have sex with him. Have you ever seen that?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll deliberately do it. Again, what are we fighting? Is this just some willy-nilly thing? No. Anything, there's another thing you guys can write down. Anything that is pervasive amongst Homo sapiens must exist in evolution. Every preference that you have comes from evolution, meaning this is, when you extrapolate this, it gets really ugly, because that means there is no free will. Every preference you have comes from evolution. You guys wear shirts that are comfortable, but even your tattoos show alignment to a tribe. You guys are not deliberately having facial hair that makes you look unattractive to women. You have long hair. Like, if I went through every single preference you guys have, it lies within this really narrow range. Your range is chocolate or vanilla, but they're both really sweet ice cream. That's the range you think you have. None of you are eating sandwiches made out of poop. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Your choices are extremely narrow. You understand what I'm saying? But you think that you have all this free will. You don't have free will. You don't. Like, 86% of the time someone's religion is their parents' religion. You don't have fucking free will. No, you don't. You like, I know people think they do. What you have is there's all the decisions, let's just say on this pie chart, this narrow range of decisions are yours. They're free will, but they're free will for living in North America in 2022. This is like very narrow range of things that you have. Like the number of people that you know that watch Netflix or watch HBO or watch, like there isn't really that much. How many people that you know that were white living in North America just started watching Korean television? It just doesn't happen. You don't have free will. You're just, you
Right.
do what you do what the people around you do. You don't really,
passed on, yeah.
you don't have that much free will. You know what tastes good? Sugar, salt, and fat tastes good. It tastes good to my ancestors. Why does it taste good? Because my ancestors needed to gorge themselves for calories because they would go long periods with no food. They were foragers that lived out in the forest for hundreds of thousands of years before the advent of fire, the wheel, the lever, and then the agricultural revolution. They just lived out as nomads forever. So they would forage and eat, gorge themselves on food. What do we see in this country right now? We see people gorging themselves at McDonald's and becoming morbidly obese. Why are they doing that? They're killing themselves. Why on the earth would they do that? Because their ancestors knew, I'm very lucky to have these calories in front of me. Let me get as many of them inside of me as possible. And that's what happened. Whenever you see Inuit societies, like ancestral societies like Aboriginal people, or you see people in like some of the islands in Southeast Asia, Polynesian islands, and these people have never been introduced to McDonald's. As soon as you introduce them to McDonald's, in every case, these people end up with horrible diabetes. They end up destroying themselves because why? They come from a society where they have to forage for food. They have to kill for food. They're burning calories in order to take in calories.
more calories,
There's a reason, by the way, this is a really weird thermodynamic example, but there's a reason why lions don't kill rats. The amount of energy it takes for a lion to kill a rat is more energy than the rat is to consume. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And this is the reason why. So now you have these people and they go out there hunting for food and all this kind of shit. Or like, you know, like what do people go out? They aren't going out there trying to get little schooners or whatever. Like they're trying to kill whales with these big old, because the amount of energy it takes to kill the whale is far less than the amount of blubber and calories that are in the whale. That's why people would go out and do this. So now you have the same situation here where you have these people and they're trying to consume as many calories as they can in a short amount of time. And so now you put them in a situation where like me on a like lower middle class salary can afford all the French fries I could ever eat till I fucking die. Soft serve ice cream and the fucking meat at McDonald's, it's breaded. It has ammonia in it. Do you know that the meat at McDonald's has fucking high fructose corn syrup in it? That's mind-blowing to me. You guys know why people get food poisoning from Chipotle and never get it from McDonald's? Anybody know?
I thought McDonald's owns Chipotle. Is
No,
that
they
true?
did. They were original investors, not anymore.
Okay.
The reason why people get food poisoning from Chipotle sometimes is because they're from farms.
It's actually food.
That's actually food that they get from different. that meat you got is probably sourced from some
Do you
farm.
remember that they shut down one time for like a year?
No, not for a year.
Was it-
Chipotle shut down for a day.
Yeah, it was.
okay.
It was
It just went.
Chipotle.
Yeah. So what they did was, the people they'd get sick because what was happening is like the lettuce was sourced from a farm that was nearby. Does that make sense? It's problematic because you can't ensure the exact same quality of whatever because unless you're using genetically modified organisms, you're going to get different quality of lettuce in different places in the country. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You don't have that problem with McDonald's. It's this fucking paste they pour into a vat and then they stir it around and it turns into a meat patty and it's got ammonia in it and it's fucking breaded. There's bread in the meat. There is no way a bacteria could live in that shit. That's the reason why you never get food poisoning.
Have you seen those videos where people like put the hamburger away for like years?
Yeah.
And then they pull it out and it's fine. Like it looks like
Hey bro, I'm
edible.
leaving here and I'm gonna go eat at McDonald's. I love the shit out of this stuff.
Hey, and then
So good.
how they get you with that adult
Yeah.
Happy Meal now, and then bringing back Grimace and
Bro,
fucking
you seen that?
hamburger.
Like, men out there, listen, don't take your girl to eat the adult Happy Meal. Like, don't do
know.
that.
Bro, I tried to get one.
I stopped eating fast food a long time ago, and like I saw that shit, and I wanted to go get it.
Oh, dude, it's fat. You can actually use fat. It's very similar to the way you can use heroin. It attacks the same part of the brain. So the fat, like when you ever have like eat bacon or if you've ever had like butter on a waffle, I'm just hungry thinking I want to go to Peppermill right now and eat it. Just thinking about this, it triggers the same part of the brain. Two fantastic books I highly recommend is The Omnivore's Dilemma and Sugar Salt Fat. Those two books are fantastic. They tell you about how incredibly disgusting and horrible the food processing industry is in the United States. Or in the entire world. Like we could literally grow corn to feed the entire planet and it would cost us next to nothing. So when you see that stuff and you kind of realize like oh man, this is the reason why like people get obese in this country. And that's it. And there's no reason to stop, because our ancestors were every day, their only thought was, how do I find enough calories to keep me and my tribe alive? That's all their concern was. It wasn't the 7-figure business or what do I post on Instagram. Do you guys realize most Homo sapien males for the majority of their life didn't know what they look like? Think about that for a second.
Oh, shit.
They didn't know what they look like. There was no mirror. Well, how would they ever know? They would go their entire life and not know what they look like. They didn't. This is why men do not care as much about their own looks, and women don't care as much about men's looks. You care about the man who killed the meat. It didn't matter how pretty he was. That's the reason why. Can you imagine? There's probably no corollary right now in our lives to like the three of us going out and killing some gazelle and bringing back the meat on our shoulders to some tribe that we're in where the whole tribe is fucking starving. And the people are like cheering when we come back. There's probably no level of dopamine and serotonin that we could experience today in our lifetime that would be equivalent
to that,
to be compared to that feeling. We don't. Why? Because we don't have to fight for anything. We go to the supermarket and we just point at shit. We don't even go to the supermarket, dude. We get Amazon Fresh. Shit just gets delivered to us.
And
of course.
when the drug dealer comes and opens the bag, I guess.
I mean, that's the thing. But that's where I'm getting way off topic here. But that's where I think depression comes from. You belong to a group. Your ancestors were all men and women that were accomplishing goals every day to live. Step by step, every day I must accomplish these 3 goals for my children to live, or I'm going to die. Yeah. And every day I did it. I slept with I slept so good because I was exhausted, and I slept with incredible levels of satisfaction. Now my life is going to be brutal. My teeth are going to fall out by the time I'm 25, and I'm probably going to die before 30. But in the interim, I'm going to sit there and accomplish goals, and then I'm happy. Now we live in a life where poor people have 2 cell phones and they live in a trailer and they have multiple children, and then they're like the state pays for a bunch of the things they do. And I'm not complaining about I am complaining to some extent, but like the thing is, these people are not incentivized to go accomplish anything, and then they suffer from depression. Of course you suffer from depression. Of course. What did you kill today? And by the way, for those of you who are vegetarian, there's other analogies we can use. But what did you kill today? What did you kill today? Like today I killed a bunch of today I like I'll just say it. I'm lined up an interview with Dan Bilzerian and fucking Fresh and Fit like in 2 weeks. Like I killed something today. Does that make sense? That's the thing that every day I want to go kill something. Then I feel great. Does that make sense? And if you don't do it, then that's when you're going to you're suffer from depression. I know Andrew Tate got in a lot of trouble because he said he doesn't believe clinical depression is a real thing. Of course it's a real thing. I do believe it's a real thing. But if we all started with the attitude, by the way, women are twice as likely to suffer from depression as men. It's about 10% of women and 5% of men. If we all started with the attitude of, okay, I feel depressed, but I'm going to do everything I can to try to accomplish some goals today. And then if I do this for a while and I accomplish all these goals, I get in shape, I do all this stuff, and I'm still suffering from depression, now let's go see a clinician. But let's do that first. Let's go ahead and take personal responsibility for my own mental state first, and then we can go off and do all this other stuff. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. If we started with that attitude, it's okay. To completely believe there is no clinical depression is absurd. Obviously, there's people that have neurochemical disorders and they just don't have serotonin receptors, and they just suffer from depression. But like that's the
why do girls always, or I mean it's girls and guys, but they always throw out the term you're bipolar.
When you don't do something that somebody out that validates someone else, then they call you a narcissist or call you bipolar. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden she's tapping me, fucking with me, and I'm calm and I'm cool. And then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, fucking stop. I changed because she kept pushing my boundaries. She pushed my boundaries, and then I changed. I'm like, hey, this is the boundary right here. Now my attitude has changed. From her perspective, I'm bipolar. I've changed. Does that make sense? Because I've set a boundary. I've also found that whenever I was not, this is not all women, but some women, I'll deal with them. And if I do something that does not validate what they want, then their response to me is that I'm a narcissist. Like, no, because I didn't validate you, that does not mean I have a cluster B personality disorder. It just means I didn't validate you. It means I set a boundary. And for a lot of women, they've never had a man set boundaries. There are some women that are so attractive to men, to individual men. And this is one of the great things about me having hundreds of females in my life, is that there's no one woman who's so beautiful that she can cause me to change my behavior or change my morals on her because of how physically attractive he is. 99% of men will change their morals for a woman if she's physically attractive enough. And so if you don't do that, maybe I'm the first guy who's ever told you no. I'm the first guy who's ever said no to you in your entire life. And so because of that, now he's not validating.
There's got to be a reason.
He's not validating
you did
so
that.
he must be a narcissist. He's a narcissist. That's what he does. This is also the reason why, like, if a girl sends me nudes, I never send more, babe. I always send, go with God, love Jesus. Like, I always expect You know why? Because here's what girls will do. They'll they'll send you this.
Fuck.
They'll send you these
Kill
messages.
themselves.
They'll send you these messages, and the message are like all super seductive, sexual or whatever. And then you'll respond, and you'll like maybe even send dick pics or whatever. And they'll delete all their messages, screenshot it, send it to their homegirls, talking about what a fucking creeper you are. Not me, motherfucker. Not gonna happen to me. Because if you write, I have girls send me like nude videos. I'm not trying to brag or whatever, but I have girls send me videos of them playing with themselves, whatever, and I always write back, "Hope you had a great day. Go with Jesus." Like I'm not playing into that. If we're in the same room together and the door is closed, I will, but not. What's the point of us doing this over text message?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that makes.
Yeah.
Go with
Yeah.
God.
Go with God. I'm not falling into that trap.
Have you ever sent someone a dick pic?
I've had girls ask me before, but like we have already had sex and it's very much established because like, dude,
Why do you think people do that though?
Oh,
Like,
I know why. Dr. Bus came on my podcast, and why did the girls ask or why did guys send?
No, why do the ones
Why
that
do
just
guys
send with
send?
no
Okay,
ass?
so Dr. David Bus comes on my podcast. He has the perfect answer for this. What happens is as men decontextualize videos of women or photos of women's privates, at worst don't offend us, and at best we're stimulated by them. So if a woman you didn't know just started sending you nudes, you wouldn't be offended. Does that make sense? Especially if a really attractive woman sent either one of you nudes, at the worst you'd be like, ha ha ha. But at no point do you have to go to the bathroom and throw up or be like, what the fuck is this? You don't need to seek counseling because some girl sent you nudes of her body, right? You guys understand?
Of course, yeah.
And so what happens most of the time though is we get super stimulated. Oh my God, we start thinking of the possibilities. We get sexually stimulated because this woman sent us decontextualized nude images of her body, right? So since we feel that way when we get those images, we project that same decontextualized attraction onto women. But they don't feel that way because there's 237 reasons why women have sex, and a man's penis might be one of. I absolutely. Amanda Nicole, 100%. If she 100%, she's like, send me a picture of your dick. First date, I need to see your dick. Whether or not we're gonna date, all she cares about is the dude's dick. Period. That's all she's into. I know she doesn't care how tall he is. Yeah, look up Amanda Nicole. She's a porn star.
No, I know who she is.
Yeah, so that's what she says. She says, send all the dick pics. I know some girls that are like, I don't care. Oh my God, it's too big or whatever. Like, there's so many different reasons.
I'm just like, has it ever worked for the guy though? Like they don't even know that.
So it is definitely worked if the girl asks for it and if the girl is specifically interested in a specific type of.
No, I'm talking about the ones that just come out of left field, not even ones that.
I will say there's a percentage of it. It probably works for them, but like the thing is, you're just putting yourself in such a bad light.
Is it like a numbers game? Like they're just
But
Yeah,
then
100%.
How is that for the woman to?
It's horrific. I imagine.
Yeah, I'm like,
We used to do this. We used to go into fucking lobbies, like the gates at the airport terminal. I'd sit there with a girl and she'd send dick pics to guys on her AirDrop, and you see these families like, what the fuck is this? Like when you don't expect to see a penis, it just kind of goes, whoa, what is that? If you said like really nice boobs, you're like, oh, those are nice boobs. There's nothing offensive about them. Like if you see nobody's like upset about nice boobs. Nobody is upset about seeing nice boobs. Nobody's upset about seeing a girl's nice butt. Did you see, like, you don't expect to see a dick pic and you see it. It's just like kind of like, what the fuck is this? And that's how girls feel. So now the thing is, like, here's the other thing as a man. Think about if you just got unsolicited dick pics, how would you feel? Right?
Yeah, no.
It would be like, what is going on? What's happening here? Like, why is this going on? And the girls, then they'll take the pics and they'll send it to their friends. And like, this whole thing, or they'll screenshot it and they'll make fun of you.
Hey, I was dating this girl before and this was super fucking random. This guy sends her a dick pic. And then I didn't know nothing about this dude or whatever. So she's like, yo, this dude, sent me a dick pic or whatever. But he was my fucking payroll guy for a business I had. And
I'm sure that happens a lot.
And so all of a sudden I'm like, she's like, that's the guy. Your payroll guy is who sent the dick pic.
What?
And now I'm looking at
it wasn't her. It was your payroll guy.
my payroll guy.
I think that hers.
Sent a dick pic. And like this guy's just straight as an
Did you have to get rid of him? What happened?
No, I kept him.
It's crazy because
did you keep him because you were like?
No,
he wasn't worried about him anymore. He saw the picture and he wasn't worried anymore.
Yeah, you want to know it's fucked up? Yeah, you want to know it's fucked up? So
he wasn't a threat. Is that what you
she's the one that referred me to this guy.
Oh God!
But then,
then he's probably sent her a dick pic before. If she's the one referring him,
she referred him. He
said
sent
no.
it, but then I don't think she ever thought it went.
Did your girl? Was this girl doing adult work?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
she wasn't. Well, I mean, fuck. I always say everybody is an escort, but I don't know.
Oh, she was an escort.
No,
Oh, what-
no, she
what-
wasn't. It was
what'd
the
she do?
Christine girl for all the people you know, but she was just I don't even know socialite.
No, I just know like
Whatever you
so.
wanna
so
She's gonna be
the
like,
other thing is like.
Well, no, she was like, "Hey, you should use this guy for your payroll." So she, I don't think she knew that I pursued it or we were even talking. And then she got that, and she's like, "Hey, that dude that I referred you, he sent me a fucking dick pic." And I'm like,
That
I
feels
met-
shiesty, doesn't it feel shiesty?
That's just yeah. There's
she's
there's
a-
something more to
Well,
that story that we're not getting.
Shiesty
No, here's the
bitch.
thing.
Anyways.
It was never. I don't think it was ever that he knew that I was with her.
Oh, okay.
It
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
like that.
That's
So
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so it wasn't
I've
like.
had that happen before. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, this guy was like one. I mean, if you put him in a lineup, I'd be like, this ain't gonna be the dick pic.
But as a woman,
dick pic
that's
guy.
I mean, the fucking most random. You think like nice tie, straight arrow guy
Or just wait till after this podcast comes
will
out.
randomly send you a dick.
Wait
pic.
till after this podcast and come out, and all my fans see this shit. Watch what happens.
I mean, I've had I mean, even
Yes.
before I did sex work, I've had random coworkers send me their dicks.
So do you think that happens because you do sex work? Do you think that they just feel like it's
no.
carte blanche?
I had this happen even before I did
Okay,
sex
yeah.
work.
Okay, so there's a really
I think now it's elevated.
there's two really crazy studies that I saw. One of them, they show a man and a woman studying together. They did this with college students. They were studying, like just regular studying. And they, the woman had a neutral expression on her face, and the man is like sitting there holding a piece of paper. And they would ask men, "Do you think that this woman is attracted to the man?" And then they would ask women, "Do you think that this woman is attracted to the man?" And the point of the photo was to be neutral, like it was
Right,
to,
right.
to-
Not-
nothing
yes,
to.
okay.
The answer is clearly no, but like there's no way, or there's no way to tell. Not enough information. And then, of course, so like 17% of the women said yes, and like something like 60% of the men said yes. Okay. Then they made her more attractive. They went progressively with different groups of men and made the women progressively more physically attractive, physically symmetrical, whatever. But they didn't make her like look more sexual. They didn't like make her look slutty. Same outfit, whatever. As she became more attractive, the numbers that men thought became 70, 80, 90% thought that she was physically attracted to him. Men not only mistake cues from a woman as almost any cue from a woman as being a sign for like sexual interest. The more attractive the woman is, the more that men mistake every single sign for a sign of sex. It's insanity.
Shouldn't it be the opposite?
So so men have
She looked
men,
over here. She
men-
likes me.
Men have
She's breathing.
men have the air of omission. Women have the air of commission. Men, it's like if an attractive woman, I've had this happen to me before. This one girl, she came onto my set. I was doing an interview, and she came and just like I finished the interview, and she came and kissed me on the lips, and then just grabbed my dick like, right there on the fucking thing. And I turned around, and I was like, "What in the fuck's going on?" Her husband was like 5 feet away, and I turned around and turned my butt to her. I was like, "Hey, it's good to see you. Go with God." Like, yeah, go with
Good God, I'm
and
gonna use that.
I walked off the set, right? I walked off the set, and I looked at my friends like, dude, she just grabbed my dick in front of her husband. It's so weird. Then one of my best friends, she's in Canada, and she was in Canada at the time for Stampede, and she goes, "Hey, so and so thinks you hate her," and I was like, "No, I don't hate her. It was just weird. She grabbed my dick on the fucking
Like, what do you want me to do? Like,
carpet.
take
She
her to
goes,
dinner?
"No, they're swingers. They wanted to have sex with you." I was like, "Oh, okay. I didn't understand. That was what's going on."
So that's the sign.
Yeah,
That's,
no, but
that's
my
the cue.
point is, as men, we tend to, and I'm kind of probably in the opposite route. I had a girl the other day, like take me in a bathroom and try to like sexually assault me, and I thought this girl didn't like me at all. I thought she didn't like. She's a playmate, and I was like, this girl does not like. Every sign she was giving me, she wasn't attracted to me. And then at the end of the night, I was like, hey, listen, I'm gonna go. I'm with these two girls. We're gonna get out of here. And then she just like pounced on me, and I'm like, where did this come from? As men, if we mistake a woman and we think she doesn't want to have sex with us when she does, then we lost an opportunity. Again, go back to the cavemen. This is an opportunity for us to reproduce. And so we can't lose that opportunity, which is why the Me Too movement happened, because men are just mistaking every single thing they see. They mistake every single thing they see as a sign for sexual advancement. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And where the line is, like some guys are like, hey, at least I get to shoot my shot. Well, now Me Too people are like, no, you don't even get to shoot your shot. I think guys are allowed. I think you're allowed to shoot your shot one time. If a couple comes up to you and you're like, hey, we want you to come up and have sex, they can ask. Like
They can
once.
ask,
They can
yes.
ask. I've always said this. I have a problem when women are like, no, they shouldn't even ask. No, they can ask. Dudes should be able to at least ask a girl out that you should, without being Me Too'd.
Right.
But you get one shot, or maybe one shot every few months, but not this shit where it's like just asking them out as sexual harassment. That is not sexual harassment.
Right.
Okay.
Because then
You say no. You
That's
say no.
consent.
Yes. Correct.
If you don't ask, you don't know.
Again, like I have a friend of mine. They're a couple. They frequently take women home together. And I had one of my female friends. She was like, "No, I don't have. Just fuck those couples." And I thought it was creepy. And I was like, "It's not creepy. They get to ask once. They get.
At least they ask. They didn't just like try to throw you in the car.
No, it's not creepy if a couple asks you to go home with them. That is not creepy. They get to ask one time. That's fine. If they push you or try to put Molly in your drink, that's inappropriate. But if they get to ask. Anyway, what was the story? Can you remind me where was I?
We're talking about people get one shot.
Oh no, but so here's the thing. So so men have the error of omission.
Oh,
so we forgot.
yes.
We missed. Yeah. Women have the error of commission. We accidentally fucked the wrong dude. And now we're fucked. We you ever see that? It's a really funny meme where it's this girl. She goes, "I wish we could choose our baby daddies." And I'm like, what?
What do you mean?
It was so funny. It's like she goes, "I wish that we could choose our baby daddies." Right? It's so funny. Like she takes no accountability for our actions. Commission. So women can accidentally have sex with the wrong guy. They pay for it for a long. It's very difficult for them. Whereas men have sex with the wrong women. They don't pay for it as much. Plasticine men. I'm not talking about today. Today the courts will come get you, but that's the reason. So men, they interpret everything overtly as a sign of like sexual advancement, and women, a lot of women, I'm sure you met women like this. Everything that a guy does, they think he's phony, he's fake. The guy has to prove that he's worthy of being with her. Whereas men were just like, oh, every single thing every girl does, like, oh, she wants to fuck me, right? Yeah. I'm exaggerating.
Right.
Anyway, this last study, I love the study. This is a study, the Safeway. You guys ever been to Safeway, the grocery store? So they have this thing where when the cashier would sit there and they would look at the credit card and they'd be like, "Hey, Mr. Smith, have a nice day. Welcome to Safeway. Have a nice day." When they had men say to men, "Thank you, Mr. Smith. Have a nice day." No problem. When they had men talk to women, it's like, "Thank you, Mrs. Smith. Have a nice day." No problem. When they had women say this to women, "Thank you, Mrs. Smith. Have a nice day." No problem. When female cashiers said to male patrons, "Thank you, Mr. Smith. Have a nice day," these motherfuckers were following them out into the parking lot, waiting for them to get off of work. The dudes, they had because it said in the copy, you must smile and look at this customer and say, "Thank you, Mr. Smith. Have a nice day." The women smiling, the cashiers, "Thank you, Mr. Smith. Have a nice day." The dudes, not all of them, but a lot of guys mistook that for sexual advancement, and dudes were stalking these women, and Safeway had to change the policy because of this. Men are, hey, what'd I say? 33% of men are having zero sexual partners. And you're wondering why men act like this. This is why most men are desperate. The reason why I created Men of Action, to be honest with you, the reason why I created this program is because of that whole thing, is because, like, what are the things that these men all have in common that are in that lower rung? Let's get out of those things. Let's stop doing those things. Let's stop leaving fucked up comments, hating on people on YouTube. Let's stop obsessing over conspiracy theories, right? Let's fix our diet. Let's go ahead and find a routine. Here's the thing. Here's a crazy way to meet women. I know everybody thought about this. What about having a bunch of fucking female friends and you throw their birthday party or you invite them to a charity event with you, but it's like 16, then it's 20, then it's 30. Then you're the dude showing up to a fucking gala with 40 girls. You think you're gonna have a problem dating? Let me tell you firsthand, you're not. You're not gonna have any problem dating at all. Why don't we try that? Why don't we try, doing stuff like that? So that's what I recommend. Let's not do the things that these guys do that are on the lower rung. Let's not join. No offense, I know I'm gonna get yelled at, but MGTOW are fucking incels. I'm not an incel. I'm not involuntary celibate. I think that if we just do the things that make us higher status and understand where status comes from in the first place by reading Dr. David Buss or Gad Saad, or we read Steven Pinker, or we read Leos Cosmides or whoever. If we read these books, then we understand, okay, these are the things that make our higher status. These are the things that make us lower status. And we just do those things. That's the way we have to go. I accept the world the way it is. There's a river. It's flowing downhill. I can either try to swim up river until I die, or I can build a hydroelectric dam that makes me money. Because social media is fake, and I'm okay with that. But the money's real, so I want that money. Does everybody understand? I'm a realist. I'm a nihilist. I just told you guys before, I don't believe in free will. I think that we recognize where you are, and then recognize how you can get to where you want to get. And it's very easy when you do that by admitting and accepting the world that you live in, instead of trying to change male or female behavior. When are men going to grow up? You watch the fucking. When are men going to grow up and just stop acting like childs? No, you know what you're not going to get? Any men to grow up or any men to date you.
Dude, one of the most famous people that I know, I'm not going to say his name, but he would always say to me, everything for show.
Yeah.
And he just would always say that, and I was like, what does that mean when you're always saying everything for show? He's like, everything is a show.
Yeah, social media is fake.
Well, it's just like saying you as an average person, you walk out, you go to Hakkasan, you hire 2 bodyguards, you put 3 girls with you. Now you're somebody. Everything for show.
Dude, we used to throw these parties, and we would literally put 2 step and repeats in the party, and we'd have a bunch of lights, like softbox lights. We didn't have nobody filming shit. People would just people would sit there and stand on the step and repeats all night taking pictures of themselves. It was an experiment. One day I was just like, hey, we just threw 2 parties. I'm like, why don't we put both of the step and repeats up at this mansion we're at, and let's see what happens. And nobody did anything but stand on the step and repeats with the background on the red carpets with the lights behind them the whole time, just taking pixes of themselves. I say there's 2 ways to get people to come to your party: vanity and guilt. Those are 2 ways. Vanity is really great. Hey, do you want to come to the Maxim party, the Maxim Halloween party?
Sure.
You want to walk the red carpet?
Sure.
Yeah, you want to? I'll tell Getty that you're coming. You want to come?
Okay.
I don't even know her. And I'm serious. Like, would that work if some dude came up to you in like a fucking the gym and said something like that? Hey, would you like to come? You don't think so? And he showed you that he was actually works for Maxim. You wouldn't come?
No.
Okay.
I think you would.
I think
she's lying.
No,
I think she's lying.
If he showed you validating that he actually was that person.
I wouldn't, because one, as a woman, I get invited to a lot of things, and it's like,
I'm just gonna put you on the guest list. You can confirm it for yourself.
wait, are we talking hypothetically?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, no. Just a scenario. As a scenario, I'm in the gym, I'm working out, and some random guy comes up to me and says all this. And it's like, how many times have you been doing this?
All day. I'm recruiting for the Maxim party. Guess what the Maxim party needs? Girls for the Maxim.
Right.
Guess what recruiters for Maxim party do? They message thousands.
Well, the thing
of girls.
is, you could think that's crazy, but when he shows you that and confirms that is,
so I used to have a guest list for the Playboy Mansion. You ever wonder how the girls got on there? It was me and Barry Bly and a couple others. We would put the girls on.
And
the
I
guest.
heard you worked with Sam Rima.
Yeah. So Sam, of course, Sam's like, right. So you understand. I do what Sam does, but like for different events. Me and Sam work together all the time. So that's the kind of thing. If Sam came up to you and he goes, hey, do you want to go to the Playboy Mansion? It doesn't mean, hey, do you want to go to the Playboy Mansion and have sex with me and my girlfriend afterwards?
No.
But that might happen. Shout out to Sam Rima. That might happen. That might happen. But that's not what I said. But you're in the funnel now. You got my IG. We're messaging each other. You see the fucked up memes I post, and then next thing you know, like, you're subscribed to my podcast, and then like it goes downhill from there. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how it works. Wow, it's crazy. It's almost like someone should teach a course about this. It's nuts.
Hey, you should think about that.
Hey, well, we're gonna actually call this part 1 of Michael Sartain because I have a business obligation.
But go ahead. But the reason why I hold back is because I do financial domination.
Okay.
And so hypothetically, like, say if this was a scenario
I want to
and
interview you. This is amazing.
a random guy, and this is what I
crazy.
teach my girlfriends: fuck a party, fuck that shit.
Got it.
Like, I need more.
Okay, but so
But if it's just random guy.
Do you understand? Do you understand though? Like, a lot of girls, their managers, one of the things they tell them is like, okay, we need photos, we need candid selfies, we need photos, maybe like girlfriend experience they do on like OnlyFans. But one of the things that their agents always tell them is, we need to see you on carpets. Right. So I provide carpets for girls to get interviewed on, and then they use their interview for their own OF, or not for OF, but like on their Instagram.
Yeah.
So we're basically providing them a level of validation. And I've done it for so long that it's almost like a thing to get interviewed by me on a red carpet. I don't know why. People like come choke me and grab my wiener or whatever. Like, they think it's funny. I'm serious. Like, Kylie Myers chokes me every time she comes on a red carpet, or some girls do that. I've had girls say the most vile things to me, and I know why. It's nothing to do with me. It's not that they're attracted to me. It's that I'm on a carpet and there's these lights, and their boyfriend's right behind them. They're like, I would fuck the shit out of you right now. I'm like, hey, what's going on, John? What's happening? I'm like, oh my God, dude. They'll say the most vile just to try to throw me off.
Because you're being very professional.
Yeah, I'm super. I was like, hey, it's so great to be here. Isn't it great? We're raising all this money for animal rescue, blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah, it's so terrific. And then at the end of the interview, I put my microphone down. I was like, I would fuck the shit out of you right now. I'm like, hey, what's going on? It's so great to see you. How's Jesus doing? You good?
The dogs and the cats.
The cats and the dog. I'm looking around. I'm looking at the ref for like a foul for pass interference. What's up, ref? Like, I'm so afraid to do it because I know it's not me. I know it's pre-selection. Pre-selection creates attraction in women. I understand that. That's why that's happening. So that's why I teach. But yeah, man, there's a bunch of a bunch of stuff like that. But I try to teach a self-help course that is based in science. That's probably the first question you asked me.
I was going to say, there it is. That's what we've been looking for the past 2 nights.
All right.
Give me your website
so
real quick, man. The
much,
website.
Ready? I want you guys to go to moamentoring.com.
I noticed on the website too, you reference a lot of books throughout the interview, and I noticed you had a list on there.
There's 26 books on the website. Yeah,
That's dope. Super dope.
I read. So if you want to take the course, you can take it casually. That's fine. We do 3 2-hour group calls every week. If you're in advanced, it's 3. If you're not in advanced, it's 2 3-hour work calls. Group calls a week. We have a free Monday call we do every other Monday. I have different guests on, and that's live streamed on YouTube. And then I have the podcast. Part of the podcast is part of the curriculum. This is not a regular self-help course. This is taught like a master course and a master's course. I literally try to teach this like you're getting 6 hours of a master's degree. There are, like I said, 114 modules is 1,100 hours. You're going to see massive changes in your life in the first 45 days, but to get through the entire course would take about 2 years. Not less than 2 years. It would take a long time, maybe a year and a half to get through the entire course. I specifically want people to be massively invested. I've never had a legitimate refund. I've had 2 guys try to steal the program from me. That's happened, but I've never had a legitimate, or I have one guy where it's like literally he thought he had the money and he didn't have the money. I've never had a guy be in the program for several months and then just be like, yeah, I want out. I've never had that happen, and I'm at 440 clients at this point. We hit $2 million in revenue last month or 2 months ago, and this is our first. We haven't even been around for 2 years, so this thing is really blown up with the help of a lot of people. I go over, like I said, our sales funnel that we created has been so effective that I want to teach. That's the next course I'm going to teach, is how we built a scalable business like this. And some of the girls who come on from OnlyFans is your sales funnel. I don't know if you know this. OnlyFans has built their own sales funnel, their networking sales funnel. But like if you wanted to sell merchandise, we would like show you, there's a way, like on Shopify. Shopify is a great example of like another type of sales funnel for that. But man, we have kind of gotten good at affiliate. Not yet. We haven't figured that out. That's why I'm friends with Andrew Tate, and I'm trying to figure out how he did it. We paid traffic, fucking dominating. It's gotten to the point now where we used to be 25% of our revenue was from paid traffic. Now it's about 50%, and then organic traffic. All 3 of you guys saw the YouTube videos on my Instagram. That leads people to the ClickFunnels, and it leads them to my Hubi account, which leads them down to Men of Action, and that's how it works. And when you go to the course, rule number 1 is what? We don't listen to the words. So I tell everybody to be skeptical. Anybody who's interested in even looking at the program, if you guys want to just have a good time, go to the moamentoring.com and just watch the testimonials. It's guys, one guy had a broken neck. He was in a hospital.
I saw that one.
And he ends up, and now he's throwing these massive parties. And then another guy, he's an F-18 pilot. I have 3 F-18 pilots in my program. I have 2 Ivy League professors in my program, several other U.S. military officers, several accountants, stuff like that. And then club promoters. Club promoters always want to join the program. To be honest with you, I don't know why these Vegas nightlife groups have not offered to pay me to teach their promoters, because the promoters are terrible. Like they really they annoy a lot of women.
It's horrible.
And so that's what I do. So that's what the course is. And yeah, I mean, it's one of these situations where if you can't afford the course, then I have a Discord server. Then I have the free calls that we do every other week. Then I'm also doing a new show called Access Vegas with Rollo Tomasi, where we're going to be bringing girls. If you're interested in coming on, we'd love to have you. We have different girls come on and they describe their experience. So, but I try to balance it. So every girl that does OF, I need a girl with a master's degree. I try to balance it like that. For every girl who doesn't have any kids, I want a girl with who's married.
That's cool.
I don't want like a disproportionate. It'd be very easy for me to get like 4 escorts to come on there with humongous fake boobs and just be like, hey, this is Vegas. No, it's not like that. So that's essentially what I'm trying to do. So I would recommend anybody who's interested to go through and call my bluff and to go through all 50 testimonials on the website if you're interested in joining. But yeah, that's the main thing I do. And then the podcast. The great thing about my coaching program is that I don't have to find sponsors for the podcast, because the coaching program does so well. And the podcast is ancillary. It's like an appendix to my program, if that makes any sense. The questions on my podcast come from my clients. And we've built an incredible community. There's, several guys in each city that help each other out. And we build these, sometimes they build events. Sometimes these guys build sales funnels. Sometimes these guys are just like trying to just level up in life. And so that's what we're trying to do with Men of Action.
Awesome.
How can they find you, Domo Monster?
You can find me on Instagram, Domo Monster 7.
My page got hacked, so I'm still in the process of
fighting with someone from North Korea.
Make a new one.
Make a new one is what I need to do.
I forgot to say, go to the Michael Sartain podcast. Just go to my Instagram. All of it's on my Instagram.
See, all the links are on there, right?
Yeah, it's everything. Everything's Michael Sartain. On TikTok, it's Michael Sartain podcast. Everywhere else, if you just search Michael Sartain, it's going to come on YouTube.
Even on Grindr?
On Grindr, it's
there's an underscore in there somewhere.
On Grindr, it's Michael Sartain _Thunder Wiener. I think that's what it is. That's what we put on Grindr.
How about you, James?
Yeah, man. Make sure you guys follow me at DJ Super James. And like I said when we started, if you haven't hit that subscribe button on wherever you're listening at, hit that right now.
Yep, and we will definitely be bringing you back, Michael. You're an interesting dude.
Yes.
I feel like we are going to do chapters.
Okay, perfect.
Because we need it. So, thank you very much for coming through.
All right, man.
All right, peace out.
Thank you, guys.